So I've had a couple of my viewers ask about the hats that I wear when I'm out hiking in the woods. I thought I'd take this opportunity to talk about those hats. If it's something you think you might be interested in, stay tuned. This is the Tilley Hat. It is the best outdoor hat in the world. That is one bold statement for a hat. Is it true? I think in my experience it might just be. Let me tell you about it. So before I show you my Tilley hats, let's just talk for a few minutes about hats in general, why I choose them and why I choose a full brim hat like this. Well, you know, for me, it's a combination of things. One is sun protection. I'm somewhat follically challenged on top, and I have to have a hat on me at all times when I'm out in the sun. I've had some sun damage in the past, and I've been told that if I'm not careful, that will lead to skin cancer. So that's a no-brainer. I wear a hat all the time when I'm out in the outdoors, especially when it's sunny outside. Now, I could wear just a regular ball cap, a regular peak cap, and it would certainly protect the top of my head, but I don't feel that a peak cap gives me all the protection that a full brim hat like this does. The full brim hat protects me all the way around, protects my ears and the back of my neck from the sun as well. In addition, some of the hats are waterproof, or at least they're water resistant, and so they provide me some rain protection as well. It does keep the rain off my back of my neck, unless of course it's a real sideways rainstorm. So a full brim hat has a lot of advantages. Tilley hats have some real special advantages, and I'm going to show you the Tilley hats that I own, at least the ones that I wear in the woods. The one I'm wearing today is one that I wear around the city. I've had this for a long time, well over 20-25 years, and I have one that's even older than that. But the two you see in my videos are relatively new to me. One's about 7 years old and the other one's about 4 years old. So let me show you the hats that I own. I'll talk about each of them and what makes them special. So what is it that makes the Tilley hat so special? Well, to begin, it was designed by a man named Alex Tilley, who started the company. Back in 1980, he was a sailor looking for a hat that he could wear when he was out on a sailboat, and not being able to find any that he was satisfied with, he set out to make one of his own. And he was very particular about how that hat was going to look and how it was going to be designed. And when he made his own hat, he found very quickly that other people were looking for ones as well. There was a business opportunity. So he designed the original Tilley hat for sailing. But the features that made it so suitable for sailing make it great for all outdoor use. So there's a number of things. First off, and I'll show you this on the other hats, but this is general to all Tilley hats, the way that they're designed to fit is by gravity, not by friction. And what that means is there's a slight taper from the crown down to where it meets the forehead, and the hat will just sit on the head, and it's not going to be tight. It's not going to leave a hat print around your forehead like a lot of baseball caps and other hats will do. It sits a little lower in your head than most hats do, and it's stitched up by gravity. Now you wonder, what about wind? Well, I'll show you the inside of the hats, but they all have a double lanyard system that goes around your forehead, around the back of your head, or around your neck if you wish, to hold it on in strong winds. Personally, I haven't found that necessary. They're meant to be a little bit loose, and you can actually get your fingers up in the side of the hat, and that's added to the comfort tremendously. So that's one of the design features unique to the Tilley hat. Another design feature, you'll notice that the crown in all the Tilley hats is flat. There's no indent crown like there is on a number of other outdoor hats. One of the reasons for that is because all Tilley hats have in the crown a very thin layer of foam. It's removable. There's a pocket there that you can put it in or take it out if you want. But that thin layer of foam there, Alex put that in specifically for sailing. And that's because it protects his head against bumps against the sides of the ship and the like when he's out on the water. So that's come in valuable as well. Now what it does also offer is a little bit of warmth protection. Now I can't say that these are extremely warm hats. I do have Tilley hats, and there are a lot of Tilley hats designed for use in the winter, but the ones I'm going to show you today are all designed for warmer weather use. So it's those features, in addition to the quality that goes into the hat, that allows Alex Tilley and Tilley Endurables, the name of the company, to guarantee these hats for life. And they do. They have a lifetime guarantee. In fact, I did have to use that on my very first hat. I had the original Tilley hat, and for whatever reason I may have gotten something on the hat, but it did start to eat away at the canvas duck on the brim. And I took it back to the store when I purchased it. They just handed me a brand new hat, no questions asked. So I was very happy with that, and it just goes to prove that there is no questions asked. They also have a guarantee against loss. A one-time lifetime offer. If you lose your hat, they will replace it. I think you have to pay half the price of the replacement hat, but who offers a loss guarantee against their hat? I think they're pretty sure that people are going to hang on to their hats. These hats have become famous for a lot of use. I know that our Canadian Navy has used these hats in the past. I know that our Canadian Postal Service uses these hats. And there's even some famous videos online that went viral a few years ago where I think it's the Los Angeles Zoo, where one of the zookeepers was wearing one of these hats and feeding an elephant in its enclosure, and the elephant reached up, took the hat off his head, and ate it. Not once, not twice, 3 times. And each time they were able to recover the hat from the excrement from the elephant a few days later. And the hat was washed out and used again, perfectly usable. That says a lot about the hat. I don't think that's something that will happen to most people's hats, but it's kind of unique in the story. Well, so the Tilley hats all have these features built into them. That makes them great. But 2 Tilley hats are the ones that I wear when I'm out in the woods, and I'm going to show you those now. So the hat I'm wearing now is the one you'll see in most of my recent videos. This is the Tilley Outback. It's a waxed canvas hat, and it is waterproof, and it does shed the rain very nicely. And I don't know if I mentioned this already. They're guaranteed for life, and that's a big feature to me. But some of the other features that I really appreciate about these hats is, well, the fit, I did mention that, and the fact that it floats. I think that's aided by the small piece of foam in the top of the hat, but the fact that they float means if I'm out on my kayak and I lose the hat over the side, I just have to paddle up and catch it before it floats away on me, and I don't have to worry about it sinking. And that was something that Alex Tilley designed into the hats. Of course, being a sailor, he wanted something that if it did get blown over the side, he'd be able to retrieve it from the water. So this is the Tilley Outback, and did I mention also that they're made in Canada? That also is a big deal to me. So this is a Canadian-made product, made from some of the highest grade materials that you can possibly get. And as a result, they're a little bit more expensive than a lot of other hats, but in my mind, worth the price, especially since they're guaranteed for life. So let me show you my other hat, the hat that I'll be switching into now as the weather's getting warmer. So this is the Tilley Th, and the H stands for hemp. And it's made from a hemp plant material, and it's a very open weave. It's not so open that you can see through it, but it's open enough that it does allow air to pass through that. And what I like about that is that it keeps me quite cool during the summer. So this is my lighter hat, something that I can wear when it's warmer outside and I don't have to worry about getting overheated. Certainly not waterproof. It will soak up the rain, but that's quite okay because I don't wear it for that reason. It keeps the sun off my face, it keeps the sun off my ears, keeps the sun off my back of my neck, and keeps me a little bit cool because if I lay it in the water and I put it back on my head, the evaporation will allow me to cool down a little bit as well. So it's a nice, very soft hat, very flexible. It's not something I have to worry about getting bent out of shape. I don't have to worry about getting dirty because they clean up so well. And of course, I think I mentioned this already, they are guaranteed for life. All right, let me show you one more hat. So I have 2 more hats I want to show you before I close the video out. This is the hat is known as the Tilley T3. This is one of the oldest ones in the Tilley lineup. It is an Egyptian cotton canvas hat. The brim is slightly different in that it's pretty much flat all the way around. But one of the things that makes this hat unique is that you can snap the sides up on it if you want. And this would be the model that was issued to the Canadian Navy hat. So this is as close to the original Tilley design as you can get. I think one of the improvements was there's a green brim on the hat that gives a little less reflection from the sun when you're wearing it. I wanted to show you also the string system that is on the hats. So you can see there's 2 string systems on this, and the way that they're designed to be used, and I'll have to tighten them up, but so on the back of your head and on your forehead, if you put those strings on, they will keep the hat on, and I mean keep the hat on in the wind. And there's no way that hat's going to come off, and they don't have to wear the string down around my neck. I haven't seen the need to use them like that yet. I just kind of tuck them out of the way inside of the hat, put the hat on, and they're just fine. Now I've got a little decorative string around the outside, just something I braided out of paracord. It's a different looking hat. It's a little bit more relaxed. It's not quite as dressy looking as some of the other hats are, but it's still a very functional, effective hat. The only reason I don't wear it now is because I wanted to wear something a little darker in nature when I'm out in the woods rather than this white hat. Absolutely nothing wrong with this hat, and I still use it. I like to use it especially around the yard when I'm doing yard work here at home. I have one more hat to show you and then we'll close out. So this is the Tilley T5. This is one of the original Tilley T5s, and what made this different from the hat I just showed you is the way that the brim is made. It has a wire, I believe it's a nylon wire running through the edge of the brim that helps it hold its shape. It's a nylon hat, they call it nylantium, which is just their version of nylon. Very lightweight, breathes quite well, aided by the two holes on each side of the hat. And it's this is a hat that you would think would get dirty when I wear out. I've worn this right across Canada and across the United States. I travel with it, I'll throw it in my suitcase, it'll go in my shoulder bag wherever I'm at. I've had this for at least 15 years, maybe a little longer. No worse for wear at all. It doesn't show any signs of wear. The sweat has not stained it. I haven't had anything stick to it that hasn't come off. It's not waterproof. It is water resistant. The water will run off the hat, but it's a nice lightweight hat that I consider a little bit dressier than some of the other hats, something I'll wear out on today, for instance. All right. So, Tilley hats. I'm going to leave some links below in the description for the Tilley Hat and Tilley Endurables company. They make a lot more than just these hats. They make a big line of winter hats. They make a lot of clothing, outdoor adventure clothing, all the highest quality. They make some great leather and canvas gear for traveling with. And there's a lot of great stories. One of the original things that I found in the Tilley hats is in the brim there was a little envelope with some tags in it, and they were called brag tags. And the idea was if somebody asked you about your Tilley hat, you can give one of these brag tags, almost like a business card for Tilley. But in addition, there was a lot of stories from people who have had these hats and give testimonials, and you'll find those on the website. I think you'll find it interesting just going to the website and seeing what's available. Again, they're not inexpensive, but to me they're worth every penny. They're guaranteed for life. I think I mentioned that already, didn't I? They're guaranteed against loss. They have all the sun protection you'll ever want. The brim design can make sure that my ears and the back of my neck don't get burnt, but still provide me enough protection and visibility that I can see. They are lightweight, and they have leave no pressure on my head due to that gravity hold design that they have. Yeah, I think they're a good investment, and it's one of those extravagances because normally I'm very cheap on my gear, but this is one of those things that I find extremely important to have a good hat, and I really enjoy having these hats. You might want to take a look at them. If you can afford them, they're worth every penny. They're not the only hats out there, but these are really, they are the best. Okay, so if you've enjoyed this video, maybe you'll consider subscribing to my channel. And until next time, get out and explore. Take that path less traveled. It'll make all the difference. Bye for now.